Hello and welcome back to Spriteguard Plays HyperRogue. You may have noticed that there was no satisfying resolution to the last series. That's because I started recording yesterday relative to when I'm recording this, Saturday relative to actually absolute. Well, not completely absolute, because weekdays only tell you what the date is congruent to mod 7. Anyway, so I recorded one of the worst episodes I have ever recorded. If not ever, then certainly in a very long time. And it was about 4 minutes long, and it had silences, and it had just dull commentary. I was not happy with it at all. And I went and I died in a really I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't play well, and so I just couldn't make a good video out of it. And so we are starting anew once again. We have the whole world available to us. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We can use... There we go. Yeah, so if they can't reach you, then they won't move. So that's one way that you can kind of protect yourself by using the colors. And sometimes you can be touching the same color that they're on, but they still won't move because it's not connected. So that's a good thing to be aware of. And of course, always making sure that you don't splash slime onto the collectibles. And I just barely avoided doing it there. Let's see, we only need 2 more, so let's see if we can keep... What is this? Is this a crossroads? It is. Let's see if we can keep that in sight and get the last 2 treasures that we need. And they're just right here. Very easy for us to pick up. Assuming I don't make any really silly mistakes. There we go. So that's something that happens. You know, sometimes I just end up recording an episode and it just goes so wrong that, you know, there's no way of undoing anything in this game. And so sometimes I will publish an episode that I'm just really not happy with. But when I'm this unhappy with an episode, I think it's fine to say, okay, you know what? Didn't work out. And so that was a good run we had. It ended in a bad way. We're just going to start again and create an even better run. So let's try and do that. Let's see, what should we do? I mean, we're going to be starting out, of course, we're going to be doing pretty much the same stuff that we do at the beginning of every series. We have to gather up enough treasure to unlock some lands and make some things possible. But after that, it's really kind of the world is our oyster. What I actually attempted to do in the last episode, and the one that went horribly wrong, was a princess quest. And I just realized that we didn't actually get all of the phoenix feathers. I'm not sure why I thought we did. So that's something that we will need to take care of. I guess I'm still not paying quite as much attention as I really should be. Getting more trolls than I am really comfortable with. Oh dear. Oh boy, that was nearly very bad. So there's our 10 treasures, so we can escape into this living fjord. A lot easier to navigate, a lot easier to deal with trolls. They don't make the walls collapse on you, they just make the shore expand, which is much easier to deal with. We can grab a boat, explore around here. Jungle is always interesting. Let's see if we can make something happen there. I don't really like getting a lot of treasures from the Living Fjord unless I really have a compelling reason to. And I feel like I often don't. I think it's necessary for the burial grounds, maybe? I don't remember, but because of the danger that water elementals present, and kind of they're a little bit annoying to deal with because of the way that they affect the terrain and the way that they really curtail your options with boats. And that's something that I just find very frustrating. And so I don't get treasures from the Living Fjord unless I have a really compelling reason to do so. Let's see if we can hack to the center of that one. There we go. And that has opened up quite a few rubies, but kind of hanging around in one place in the jungle is always a bad idea because it gives the ivies around you a lot of time to just grow. And they do de-aggro once you get them off screen. They stop growing. And so it's much safer to expose a lot of new tiles and just kind of try and keep moving. So at this point we have our 10 treasures. We're just looking for an exit. And there's not a whole lot that we can do. We want to really avoid picking up any rubies because we don't want to make things much more dangerous. We also want to be really aware of the danger of eagles. Eagles can be a really big threat to us. And going from the jungle straight into the mirrored land is a pretty dangerous way of dealing with that, because when you're on the border of the jungle and the mirrored land, you have two different places the eagles can be coming from. Now the wall makes it actually probably a little bit more safer, now that I think about it, a little bit more safer than being right in the mirrored land proper. Because when you're in the mirrored land, eagles can come from literally any direction. And when you're on the border of the jungle, you still have that little bit of protection from the wall that limits where eagles can come from. 2 eagles at once is always a problem, but we managed to deal with it. We had a lot of mimics that protected us because they will attack mimics if they pass them. So, let's see, can we be clever here? Yes, we can. We need just one more treasure. There we go. And that is the Mirrored Land knocked out. Now, I would really like to find my way back to the Land of Eternal Motion. However, this Warped Coast, actually, I wanted to poke in here and point out something that I learned recently, which is that the Warped Coast, the pattern of the land, is actually based on the HyperRogue grid. It is, oh dear, it's basically, it's a reskin of the HyperRogue grid in which you're not allowed to move between the hexagons, and that's kind of how it's treated internally. And so that's interesting. That's kind of, I love learning those little quirks of the programming. That's something that I learned from the HyperRogue forums on Steam, but we are going to make our way, oh dear me, dear. There we go. We're going to make our way into this crossroads, find ourselves a Land of Eternal Motion, and then we're going to save and quit. And we will carry on in the next episode. So, you know, these starting out episodes, they're always a little bit the same. They always have their own few little quirks. I'm still not 100% sure what we're going to be doing in the next episode, but I think Princess Quest seems likely. I'm not really sure, you know, I don't know what my plans are for next week, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have. Princess Quest does require a lot of extra time, because I basically have to record several episodes worth of content at once. And so, I kind of have to have a weekend where I'm up early, and I'm not out adventuring, shopping for toys, or whatever. And so, we won't know until next week what exactly I'm going to do. But Princess Quest seems very likely. Hyperstone Quest is much easier to break up into small chunks. but it always feels like there's a little bit, you need to do something else when you're on a Hyperstone quest. It's a little hard to structure episodes just around the Hyperstone quest, unless we do a top to bottom run again, which I think we have already broken. Oh my goodness, let's see. Yeah, we've left some gaps, the desert. Actually, I guess we've only left one gap. We could fill that in and then start doing a top to bottom run. But that is, that's the options we have. I don't really feel like doing another Yender quest. Camelot quest is still just as problematic as always. But we will, I will decide. I will, of course, take suggestions in the comments. I love hearing what people think. I love trying to, especially if you have any ideas for challenges I could take on. I would really love to consider those. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.